back, and I am Cara Presley here with two amazing women. I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves so that we can talk about Miss Ajike Owens. I want to make sure I say her name correctly. Is that correctly?
Yes.
I've heard several pronunciations, so I want to make sure we say that correctly. Feel free to go ahead and introduce yourselves and your relationship to Miss Owens so that we can get the appropriate message out to our communities.
Okay. My name is Kimberly Robinson Jones. I'm the longtime friend of Ajike, and I am the godmother to her daughter, Africa. And I happen to be the sister of our next person to speak.
And so my name is Takema Robinson, and my title today is Kimberly's big sister, and all the ways that that means in terms of showing up for her and her best friend.
I love that. And that's exactly why I invited you both to come and do an interview for our Red Table Talk community and my radio show community, the Cara Presley Radio Show. I love sharing authentic voices, true messages, and there's so much of a narrative going on online. I want you both to just tell me, who is Ajike Owens? Who was she? Who is she? What is her essence of her just as a woman and a parent?
So Ajike is the epitome of a friend. Ajike will give you the shirt off her back. Ajike will do anything that she could within her means and her resources that she had. I mean, she gave to others. She ministered to other single moms. She donated to single moms. And then Ajike, as a mother herself, was just, all that a mother can be, especially a single mom raising 4 kids. She made the sacrifices for her kids. She worked overtime, for them so that they can have, they can be in private schools, so that they can be in sports activities. So she was all, that. She had the most infectious smile. I mean, I've never seen somebody smile as beautiful as hers. She was just a beautiful, all around person whose life was just taken too soon.
I think that anyone with the BFF can understand your sentiments today, right? Like when things come out and situations similar to this, I'm sure we can all say, we can't imagine, but we know the person, right? We know that that's my friend, that's my sister friend. And the first thing I immediately thought about when the situation came across my newsfeed was she went to that neighbor as a woman, as anyone would want to. You already don't want your children confronting certain situations. Was she doing anything out of the ordinary? Have you guys been aware? She sounds like she's the advocate for her children like any other mother. Is that the nature of
it? Yeah, absolutely. I think it's so important that we want to clean up some of the things that are out there. First of all, the field that the children were playing in was not this woman's property. The children were explicitly allowed to play there. It was the community play space. My sister used to live in the same apartment as Ajike. Her kids played in that field with expressed permission to do so. So this woman is really a neighborhood terrorist and has been terrorizing these children for a very long time. There are police calls going back to 2021 of people complaining about her harassing children. I mean, she said some of the nastiest things, called them the N-word often, referred to them as slaves, and even referred to the play space that they were in as the Underground Railroad. So this has been going on a long time, but this is not a neighborhood feud. This is a racist white woman who hated these children and constantly terrorized them. And so, those are some of the things that are really important to clarify, because Ajike responded that night like I would have, like I know many mothers would have. We don't need to qualify that with Black, as any parent would have. And it's why I think it hits home for all of us. I'm a mother, my sister's a mother, right? We know exactly what we would have done if someone hit our children with rollerblades, called them the N-word, and broke their iPad. We would have asked them as an adult,
what's happening here? What's happening here? And I'm
what's happening here?
That's just the end of it. I mean, it was just a through the door for me, just being completely transparent. And
The
I know
locked door, the locked door.
the locked door, and I know this is your sister, your friend, your BFF. I just, how are you both, just as women, how are you processing and how are you feeling in this moment? I know that this has probably turned immediately into advocacy work, but how are you both taking care of yourselves in the interim?
I mean, to be honest with you, I am just going from day to day. Like I'm living in this dream that I cannot wake up from. Like this is a nightmare for me. I still can't believe that she is gone. I'm like, is this really happened to me? You see stuff that's that happens to people on TV, but never in a million years would you ever think that you personally will be affected by something like this. God, is this real? When am I going to wake up from this? Like, I can't believe we are here. We're really saying that she's gone. She's gone. I'm just moving right now because everything. The time was of the essence to get things moving for her. I haven't had time to really just process this. I just know that we had to go to work for my friend. We had to get saying the word out. We had to do some groundwork in order for an arrest to be made first for her.
I think that's the point that Kim is making, is that we had to do the work. We had to do the groundwork. We called the sheriff's department on Saturday and were told that the detective on the case only worked Monday.
Okay.
The family was never addressed by the sheriff officially until the children were interviewed on Monday. And then they were told to come out and at least acknowledge us. We had to go to work. Community had to go to work. We had to say her name. We had to get petitions out. We had to get community ringing the sheriffs. We had to get folks out on the street interviewing folks, trying to find information about what happened to her, because we waited an entire weekend and nothing moved until we started moving. So that's number one. And the other part of this that I want to say about my sister is that she's been caring for the 4 children since Friday. So not only has she been trying to get things moving and move the advocacy along with me and with others, but she's been actively caring for 4 additional children in addition to her own 3. The advocacy work that people are seeing online, we're proud of it. We're thankful to all our supporters. Of course, Mr. Crump, we're thankful to Joy Reid. We're thanking to Latasha Brown, Alicia Garza, Angela Rye, Amanda, like literally the Black Woman Brigade has shown up in every single way, from the care of children to deciding what Ajike will wear in her coffin, to putting together the repast. Like it's on every single level. So to be honest, sis, nobody's processing. Folks are moving and doing what needs to be done right now.
Right. And I know that. And that's why I wanted to ask you guys to, number one, remind you, we love you. I do. And I know my community does. I've seen them posting and talking about this. We are sending love to her mother as well. Please send our regards. But just encouraging you to take care of yourselves. And we know Black women, you got to cry on the floor, you got to cry in the car, eat a taco in the car, whatever it takes, whatever it looks like, minute to minute, moment to moment. Take care of yourselves where you can. Let's talk about the timeline to this finally getting a charge. Tell everyone, how long did it actually take? Because the part that I heard that sounded like it was a piece of empathy, but it also sounded like BS at the same time, was we knew we didn't want to interview the children after they had just witnessed their mother be murdered. And to hear him say that and not immediately say, so why didn't you arrest the murderer? It's the Breonna Taylor all over. It's like just the wrong word. Tell us the true timeline, what the conviction was and what it actually should be, because I believe it's manslaughter. If you could clarify that for us, and then also tell us how we can support this effort. Do we need to still be making calls to the sheriff?
Oh, no. Okay. We absolutely need to be making calls. So I want to make sure we get everybody up to speed and everybody behind us. Of course, the incident occurred on Friday night. And on Saturday, we began organizing. We were able to get in touch with Mr. Crump very early on Saturday morning. And by the afternoon, he had someone assigned to our case and, on the phone with us. So I just want to acknowledge that part of the timeline in terms of how quickly community in the village stepped up to the plate. But it was also Saturday when we called the sheriff's office, asking for information, expecting, I guess, that someone would address us, let us know what was happening with the investigation, or at least acknowledge us. And that did not happen. That call again was responded with, the detective works Monday through Friday. And that was all we had, and the scheduling of the interviews for the children. So between Saturday and Sunday, we didn't have a lot of activity or interaction at all with law enforcement. And we're not even aware that there was any interviewing happening of community through the weekend. It was on Monday when the sheriff decided to hold a press conference. And in that press conference, sounded a lot like a defense attorney to me. He already suggested in that press conference on Monday that this could be a stand your ground case, and had his talking points about, the investigation, which again, we don't know started until Monday, when they were aware that we were organizing a press conference for that day. So that's the timeline on Monday. Joy Reid, shout out to her, broke the story to national news on Monday evening for us. And that's really where we started to see the public outcry, and really beginning to get the ball rolling. And again, it was Tuesday when the sheriff continued the investigation. There was some subpoenas for some of the ring footage from her house. And it was last night, Kimberly, when you were with Mr. Crump, correct? I was in the air when they got the call that based on that footage, he had decided to bring the charges of manslaughter. And that's the problem here. Manslaughter is a charge that as a first offense could bring no more than 24 months in prison. That is clearly not enough in this case. That is clearly not enough for a woman who murdered a mother in front of their children. So right now, our demand is murder 2, and a thorough investigation that will bring about a murder 2 charge that convicts. That's where we are. And right now, we are asking folks to continue the drumbeat. Manslaughter is not enough. It is offensive to us. It is offensive to her life and her legacy and to her children. So right now we're driving everyone to our website, www.justiceforajowens.org. There you will find all of our call to actions. You will find the petition for color of change. Shout out to Rashad Robinson and crew. You will also find the GoFundMe page, which we are asking community to blow our minds to make sure Miss Pam never has a worry in her life as she takes on the care of these 4 children. And then you will also find the phone numbers, because we need to call the sheriff and let him know we are dissatisfied with the charges. And we also need to let the state attorneys know that he has it within his power to bring the appropriate charge, which is murder 2. And we are begging you to drive your viewers there and for them to take action. We will be updating it constantly. So this is our ground zero, our home base. And if you are interested in supporting and following us, that's where you will find daily updates on this. We are not sleeping until we get a murder 2 conviction.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for that. I definitely want to make sure that we have the website. I'll be sharing it in the caption with this interview and everywhere that I can. Just as we get ready to close out, what final things would you like to tell everyone about AJ so that we can remember her the correct way and just keep her legacy alive?
What we need to remember about AJ, one, she was a human first. She was a human first. And she was gunned down as if she was nothing. And then, remember her as that loving, caring friend. And then lastly, remember her as a mother who will go to bat for her children as she should. A mother who took care of her children day in and day out. A mother who sacrificed for her children so that they can have the best in life. A mother who will no longer be able to hold her own mother. A mother who will no longer be able to kiss her babies goodnight. AJ's legacy will live on. Her children will grow up in a fashion that she would want it for them, but they have a long road in front of them. This is not going to be easy for them. You know, they're going through the motions right now, but after the dust settles and everybody is still, they will still be missing their mother.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better, Miss Kim. You had it perfectly right, because everyone has a friend, everyone knows a mother, everyone has their own mother. And I just send you love and support to get through this. If you need to come back and share any other message, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, so that we can get the right message to the community, so that they can remember who she is, who you are, and what we need to do. So everyone, please go to the website. I will put it below. I'm pointing because I'm going to put it there in the edit. And make sure that you support the cause. Call this sheriff, or police department, whatever it is. Call them down there, and let's get the appropriate work done for this legacy, so that we can remember her in the appropriate way. Thank you for coming to tell us who she is as a human. The media wants to put out what they want to put out, and they want to finesse it how they want to, but we want the real story. And I appreciate you for just coming and being transparent with us today. Thank you so much, both of you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I want everybody to remember her. AJ is everybody's bestie. And if we think about her and hold her in our heart like that, then we'll do what needs to be done.
You know, one thing that I pride myself on is constantly being the voice, the face of mothers, business BFFs, sisters, friends out there in our community, because we are all healing, loving, learning at the same time. And when a tragedy impacts one of us, it impacts all of us. And I hope that this Ajike Owens story, I will hope that it's the last, but there's going to be a neighbor. There's going to be someone else, a patron, someone who just has some hate in their heart, man, and they don't know how to process it. And I pray that y'all get the help you need. Maybe you're the neighbor. Maybe you're watching this and you're saying to yourself, man, I haven't been right. I haven't looked at those kids and realized they're just having a good time. I was agitated because I wanted to read a book or whatever. But I encourage all of us to just add some empathy in your heart, man. Recognize and step into someone else's shoes for once. Those 4 children don't have a mother anymore. And it's my goal to share whatever message I can to get the real story out, so that everyone can see it, feel it, and understand it for themselves. So I hope that you all enjoyed this interview today. Please go to the website and support the cause, so that Ajike Owens can get the true justice that she deserves. Isn't that what we all preach about? Justice and doing the right thing. And I'm glad that someone is saying that this is not a stand your ground case. We need to define what that is. We need to define what fear is, what it looks like, what it truly feels like. Because fear is not just something you don't feel like dealing with and something that you want to handle your way. She could have easily called the police. This could have been a whole nother situation. Or she could have just minded her business. Miss AJ did nothing other than what any other mother would do. And I think that's what bothers me most, because I have knocked on my fair share of neighbors' doors. I've gone to other people as a woman to just understand what's happening so that I can do the best and be the best for my children. And that's all that she was doing. I know she did not see that her life would end that day. And that's the discouraging part. So I want to ensure that we can carry on this legacy for her and her children. Please visit the website. Please go to the GoFundMe. Please support how you can, so that we can carry on the legacy for Miss Ajike Owens. Thank you all for watching and listening. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for tuning in to the Cara Presley Radio Show in partnership with Mike King Biz on ESPN 106.1. Thank you for tuning in to the Red Table Talk RVA Zoom pull up. Okay, we're gonna get the message out. We're gonna share with the community, and we love you to life. I love you all to life. Thank you so much for paying attention. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for supporting. Have a successful day. Bye.